Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today it's the 10th of April 2024, 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon here in the United Kingdom. We're back in Explain 12 once again, but this time in an early access aircraft. Now, there's not many aircraft I've flown in real life. The Cessna 150, the Cessna 152, 172, the PA28, but this is one of them, the PA34 Seneca 2. It was the last aircraft I flew before I went over to 737-800. I did my CPL and instrument rating on this aircraft. Now, I flew previously the Coronado Seneca some years ago. It's always been a bit okay, but this very small developer by the name of Jetstream FS has been making this aircraft. I've been talking to the developer as well. He's flown the 737 in real life and this aircraft too, and he's very kindly sent me over a copy of his early access Piper Seneca 2. So, Iceman, thank you very much from your Discord server as well for all the information about the aircraft as well. I've not flown this aircraft for 13 years, but it's been great fun because look what I found. Let me just turn on YoCam here in all of my notes. This is my Oxford Aviation Academy PA34 checklist from 2009, revision number 2. And I've got all my old notes on it, look, from when I flew it. So all the power settings as well. Look at this here. Look, I've got all my pitch and power setting tables I made when I was doing my IR, my little cheat sheets as well. So it's been so fun to get it all out and fly this aircraft. We're in Mexico today because also Jetstream FS, the developer, has made this airport his local airfield where he flies or flew his Seneca 2 from many years ago. And he's also got some Ortho products as well. So we've got the total Mexico scenery installed. We've got this amazing view where all the clouds have been removed and all the artifacts. We'll be flying for an hour westbound to Acapulco, as famous by the song from the Four Tops, which I'd love to play, but unfortunately for copyright reasons I'll be unable to do so. The flight time about an hour and 10 minutes. We're going to fly instrument flying. We're live time, live weather at a small local airfield here called Atizapan, right outside of Mexico City. There's Mexico City up here. Look at the elevation here, already 8,000 feet. But not to worry because the aircraft is turbocharged. This aircraft actually had a service in excess of 20,000 feet. So we're using the portable oxygen on board. So yeah, in comparison to the Coronado, I can see so many improvements. But it is in early access. It's not representative of the final product as well. The sounds as well during the startup might need some tweaking as well. But overall, it's a really, really nice product. I can't wait to see the final version once it's released. On top of that, Jetstream FS has given me a copy to give away as well. So after landing in Acapulco, it'll be running a giveaway, so you can grab this aircraft for X-Plane as well as soon as possible. Yeah, look at this airfield as well. It's nestled in the mountains here in a really nice part of the world. I managed to find this tiny stand with the setup for the Seneca 2 here. Our reg is X-Ray Bravo Echo Hotel Golf, which is a Mexican registered aircraft as well. Jim is looking very feathered today for our flight. It's just Jim and I flying over westbound. We're flying on low altitude airways. We're going to have to go up to 14,000 feet wearing portable oxygen. So great fun indeed. Acapulco, yes, Steve. I've had so many airports on the last couple of streams where I've been really struggling to pronounce, but here's another one here which we're gonna have to struggle with as well. Tom Pasco, does the aircraft require stage cooling? No, it doesn't. Brilliant. It has turbocharged engines. The actual performance at this altitude is still very, very good. Does it have carb heat? I don't think so, base leg Bob. It doesn't have a carburetor, does it? It's turbocharged. I don't know if it does. I'm not an expert on these aircraft anymore. Yeah, when did they build the Seneca 2? It was in the 1970s or something like that. It's an old plane, but that's why I love flying this sort of stuff, because that's what I learned to do my R on as well. Longcat's here, Steve M, Soapstar21, and Liam, English Plane Spotter, Tom Pasco too, Nightbot's here as well, giving you all the facts and figures. Vlad A is here too. Let's finally watch the best stream regarding the Captain Iceman Seneca. Hello all. Yeah, I had a fly of it yesterday, Vlad. I'm really impressed. It handles so nicely. I've got all the pitch and power settings and RPMs, and the speeds I'm getting are exactly what the table says. The fuel burn as well, it seems to be matching really nicely, so I can see a lot of effort's been put into this, and as I said, it's still in early access and not representative of the final product, but good fun there. Why the 3-blade props? Yeah, Alvera, I went for 3 blades because it looks cooler. Now, they actually have the aircraft, or one of the aircraft I flew when I was at Oxford, which had the 2-blade prop, but I think 3 blades looks much better, so I went for 3 blades. It's a really cool fact as well. Make sure if you do get this aircraft, remove the chocks and removes the engine covers before engine start, because you can't remove them after the engine has started. And it's quite funny because this person comes talking saying, you forgot to remove the engine covers, the engine is now overheating, may I suggest you shut the engines down and remove the covers. Which is quite funny, which is really good. Yeah, very nice looking external model. Now we're not going to do a full walk around today, but yeah, the exterior is very, very nice indeed. I remember sat in the back of one of these whilst my flying partner was doing the flying in the winter, freezing cold. It has like an avgas powered heater, if I remember rightly. But yeah, it's a nice stable platform, great multi-engine twin trainer. I remember having the engine failures though. My legs were shaking so much, like trying to counteract the asymmetry from the prop as well. But it's amazing, when I was flying yesterday, all these little facts and figures came back which I've not thought of in 13 years, sort of things. Right, what's the approach speed? Final approach speed 85 knots with flat 40, rotate speed 77 knots. These figures, which I forgot, just came out, which is really nice as well. But yeah, coal fire and outside toilet pretty much as well. But yeah, very, very nice external model, and you'll see when we fly over it, it's going to be great fun as well. So it's completely cold and dark. As I said, I'm actually following the real world checklist I followed when I flew the Seneca 200T. Lycoming engines, turbocharged, plenty of power, service ceiling up at 25,000 feet. Let me just make sure I turn to the right page. So we're going to start with the pre-start checklist, which presumes that the walk around's been complete. So yeah, we'll get the... actually, you know what? Because it doesn't take long to get the engine started. What I want to do is show you this awesome routing today. So we're going to depart from this tiny little GA airstrip. Let's just go world map so you can sort of see where we are geographically. So there is Mexico, live time, live weather. We are in Atizapan. We're going to take off from runway 22. There's no meta information for this airport at the moment, but Mexico City International, which we have landed on a live stream before, the wind's coming from the southwest, so we'll guess it'll take off from the southwesterly runway 22. We'll make a left turn after departure, and what we're going to do is route direct to the Mexico VOR. I've got the radar minimum chart here as well, so sort of in our sector we are going to be below radar minimums, but we'll fly visually initially. And then what we're going to do is, when we get to Mexico, if I go to the low altitude charts, we're going to intercept the Victor 15 airway at flight level 140. It's actually 14,000 feet because the transition altitude is very high here. And then we're going to, via this airway, fly via the Tequesinotengo VOR, continuing all the way to takes us to our destination, which is Acapulco, and then we're going to do a DME arc instrument approach, because the visibility is not very good here at the moment. I think the statute miles has dropped quite a bit. Oh no, it's improved now. It's 9 statute miles, but quite hazy. So we're going to do the DME arc approach onto runway 28 with the wind 2005. That's going to favour it there. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Are we going to do old school IFR or use the Garmin? Are we going old school? I can load up the GPS, or would you like me to not bother with the GPS? In fact, you know what? I think in here... Oh yeah, by the way, look at all this here. No GPS, VR only. I know that's what you guys want, so we're going to go old school. Well, my instrument rating, I wasn't allowed to use the GPS. What they did, we had this actual Garmin GPS before. If I just turn it back on here, we had the 430. And do you know what they did? They put a post-it note here. So you have the frequencies only. There was literally a line here, post-it notes, if I move Navigraph. So that was all covered, the map was covered, and you could only have the com frequency and the nav frequency. So yeah, we'll go old school then, follow the chart, and yeah, fly with the VORs. Once we get to the Mexico VOR, we'll intercept the airway Victor 15 outbound on the whatever this radial is. I think I need to go to the lower airway chart. Oh no, where it is, 189. Look, so it's the 189 QDM or QDR outbound to Duxop. Go right over the Tango Echo Kilo. What's really interesting is the VOR at our destination Acapulco. It's 115.9. Mexico City has the same VOR frequency, so at some point it'll transition across there. I thought you just did it with a sextant back in your day. FPT, I'm not that old. Sextant. I'm technically a child of the magenta line. Anyway, let's get the aircraft set up. Well, now I've got no GPS to tune, so let me get rid of that altogether. Yeah, so look at this. You have O2 to fill up. So from my test sector, this was actually half empty. I've just topped it up before the stream. I've got full wings, 46 gallons a side. There's Jim and I. We both weigh 135 pounds. I've got the baro setting to metric. even though they use inches of mercury, so I'll just have to convert that manually. And you can see, look, it's instantaneous. So if I change the weight, look how the figures change on the tablet as well. So it's an instantaneous change. You see your mass and balance there. It's all within limits, green tick, but you can sort of move the mass around, see how the aircraft handling characteristics has changed. Acapulco, thanks Space Leg Bob. Brilliant. You could trivially force the GNS 430 into not showing a map by going to flight plan on the VNAV page. That is true, and hope you're doing well, Toto. Toto, the developer of the Challenger 650, which I've been saying for months and months, I'll fly again. I will do, Toto, I will do. I need to update it. I've only ever flown it once, but it is still, I think, the quintessential add-on for any desktop simulator with all the extra features you have. But nice to see you here, buddy. Yeah, okay, tell you what. I'll turn on the GNS because it would most likely be fitted, but I won't load up the flight plan into it, so I can at least got the radio frequencies there. Cool. So yeah, let's. I think we've spoken enough about the routing and the aircraft. I'll do my best to talk to you as much as possible. I will utilise the autopilot once I reach the cruise level. Otherwise, we're going to be flying the DME arc manually or attempting to. So I'm just going to turn off Tobii Eye Tracker now, just so the views will work correctly. As I said, I'm following my real-world checklist. So main and rear entrance doors we can now close. So let's close the door now. There we are. Nice thud. That's all closed. I just want to double check. Yeah, make sure I've got the chocks removed. And the engine covers off as well. Cowl flaps are open at this present stage. Check the alternate air controls move. They're all clear. Oh, I guess both good and bad memories being back in the Seneca. Alternate static sources in the normal position. Flying controls, we'll check full and free. So there's the aileron, rudders. Very, very nice. Trimmers checked and set. So we've got electric trim here, but we'll leave it in the neutral positions for now. Fuel is already in the on position. Battery master will turn on. So we'll turn the music down here slightly for the engine start. So I'm going to get the engines up and running first and everything warmed up before we talk about our departure. So batteries, where are you? There it is. So battery master on. Alternators, do we turn on yet? No, I think we leave them off for now. Windscreen de-ice check, it is fitted. So you've got boots here which inflate and deflate. If you want, you can deselect them using the circuit breaker panel as well. So here's all the de-icing information. They were not fitted or installed onto the Senecas we had when I was doing my instrument rating. Circuit breakers are in, start clearance obtained. So yeah, we're offline for today's flight, that's fine. Fin anti-collision light split switch to on, so we'll turn on the fin anti-coal light. So you can see the beacon light flashing on the top of the tail. Very good. Fuel selectors are on, mixtures to full rich. There we are. So it's turbocharged. We don't need to lean them for takeoff, even with the elevation. You can get 40 inches still, no problem here with the turbochargers for takeoff. Max RPM on the prop. Engines prime. So I can't remember how long you primed them for, but I'll prime a little bit left and right. I remember on cold days you'd be starting the engines while simultaneously priming as well. So we primed engine 1 and 2. Cock the prop. There we are. I'll throttle up a 1/4 inch. And we're now ready to start the engine. So for first engine, starting engine number 2. Mag switch both on. I'll turn all the mags on. There we go. Start primer operate. And we're now ready to start the engines as well. I've also loved hearing about farming stories from your job. What farming stories are those, Toto? Not sure what you're on about. This reminds me of the FSX A2A System 172 in terms of UI. Truly amazing. Yeah, I love those interactive PDFs as well where it changes. Right, so clear prop. I don't know if that opens yet. No, I don't think it does. So let's start engine. Let's do number 2 because of the 737. We do 2 first. There we are. So that's started engine number 2. I think I've got the sounds turned right down. So yeah, I think one of the things that I read in the Discord is the sounds are still a work in progress. The engine start sounds are sort of straight to the engine start, but they do sound, once you get up to power, quite nice as well. So that's a good start at engine number 2. We have 1200 RPM. There we are, 1200 RPM. We've got oil pressure. The oil temperature will be rising, as will the cylinder head temperature once it gets up to temperature. We'll turn on the alternator. There we are, so make sure it's not over 50 amps to Make sure I turn up my volume here as well. Sounds quite quiet. There we go. Starter warning light. I don't know where that is, but we'll imagine it's extinguished. We have oil pressure, ammeter check load, throttle 1200 to 1500. Just take a bit of power off it. There we go. And gyro pressure is actually showing 0. Maybe it's because I need to start both engines first. Not sure, but the right side is fine. Right, repeat for engine number 1. So starting engine number 1. I've got the parking brake set. Yeah, perfect. There we are. Oh yeah, nice and bassy. There we are. So good start on engine number 2. I remember on the cold winter's day it'd take ages for them to start, but we're good here in the sim. There we are. 1200 RPM. Oil pressure's in the green. Oil temperature and cylinder head temperature will increase. Turn on the alternator this side. Less than 50 amps. Which is good. Full tank of fuel. Very nice. Vlad says the window opens, click on the top thing and it will open. Thank you. My apologies. Yeah, that's I remember this. This is the little mirror to make sure the nose gear was locked down. Very good. Yeah, I like how the sound changes as well. Excellent. Oh, it's very bassy. I love it. Right, after engine starts, intercom, radio, and nav equipment we can turn on. There we are. So yes, I remember on my instrument rating, it was like this, and they put a post-it note just here, so all you have access to is this. Nothing else. And obviously, yeah, you've got a full GPS routing you can program. If you wish to fly on VATSIM and use GPS routing, that's absolutely fine. You can sync the HSI to GPS using that switch or the CDI button. So you can see it moves both. So it's up to you. But we'll be in nav today, because we'll route direct to the VOR after takeoff. Good, so best do a dead cut check on the mags. Yeah, I think this is just to make sure the engine doesn't cut off. There's no significant drop in RPM. We'll do the power checks later. See the RPM dropping slightly on engine number 2. Good. So dead mag checks are complete. We'll take a check. Ammeter's good. Ice protection systems are fine. Cabin conditioning is set. Electric trim is fitted. Check. So we'll just move the trim now. It's electric trim. I can't remember if I had electric trims on our Seneca 2s or not. But yeah, electric trim's working. I think we have to do it manually. I can't remember. Gyro compass check. So it should be slave to the compass. Magnetic heading is 315. Yeah, that's showing 315. What I really like and what they've done here is this is slave to the compass. In the Carenado Seneca, I remember this was just a bug card and you had to rotate it manually, which was a pain. So that I love that this is also slaved. Makes flying DME arcs a lot easier and working out what radial you're on. So great to see that slave to the compass as well. Is there a prop sync on these kind of twin props? No, Walkin 1993 is purely manual. Will, when I was doing my training a while back in Oxford, CAE still operated 2 Seneca. They had 5s. They had no Seneca 5s that I had there. They're all Seneca 2s. They had 5s for a bit. I don't know what they fly now. Very distinctive sound as they taxi along, much louder than the Diamond that leading edge operate. Very, very cool. Didn't have electric trim on the PA34's iFlew, and they were made in 2019. No way free scratch. Yeah, our Seneca 2s, the iFlew were 70s aircraft, 80s. They were old, really, really old. Flight instruments check, so no toppling of the artificial horizon. We've got sufficient gyro pressure. Temperatures are nicely warming up. EGT. I think we need minimum 75 degrees on the oil to take off. That will warm up by the time we get out there. Cool, transponder. We'll pop the manual away. That should put on 2000 and standby. Nav aids then. We'll just tune up the VOR, Mexico VOR 15.9. Oh yeah, no cheating, so I'll put that on that page. There we are. Or anything there. 15.9 for the VOR. Then it's already active. I love this old tuning panel. 15.9, the OBS, that's going to be pointing directly to the VOR, so you can find out which way we need to go. So to fly to the VOR, we need to fly a track of 119. We could set that here as well, because we want to fly directly to the VOR after takeoff. And the heading bug is set to the runway heading, which is going to be, what was the runway QDM here? 04. We'll put runway 22 then. There we are. Cool. Actually, no. What's the runway heading here? Yeah, it's 22. Good. What else do I need to do? QNH. Set the QNH. Inches of mercury. I need to get the weather for that, so let me just make sure I get the weather. Airport. It is... I'll have to go Mexico City, that's fine. 3027. Oh, I need to convert that. What's that in inches of mercury? In QNH 30... I've got my little thing here which will tell me. Decode 1025. Perfect. Yeah, this airport, yeah, you want to go for Mexico City, guys. That's the nearest triple MX. It's only around the corner from here. This is a very small GA airfield. Cool. What else do I need to do? Fuel selectors, brakes, taxiing next. So we'll do the engine run up later. We talked about departure already. Well, just to remind you, we'll take off from runway 22, climb straight ahead, and immediate left turn towards the Mexico view. I'll talk about the power during the climb and thrust settings. Right, so let's taxi out. Just go back to idle. Nav lights should be on already. For taxi, was it just both landing lights? I can't remember. Right, parking brake. Oh yeah, that I hate the brakes on the Piper aircraft. There we are. So what we'll do, we'll taxi out of here. Got to be careful of wingtip clearance. I think I chose V as parking brake. There we are. So we're going to make a right turn out of here, follow the dash line. Visibility in the Seneca isn't very good. I think that's just the gyro airline. There we go. Oh. Yeah, it's not a great aircraft for taxiing, and visibility is poor because of the size of the engines. We didn't have these fitted to all our aircraft as well. That was a little bit you could de-ice. Okay, this is the Atizapan scenery, also from Jetstream FS. Taxi to runway 22, so actually I don't know, can I get down that way? No, I'm going to have to backtrack, aren't I? So what we'll do our power checks here. Should be a bit, oh, brakes are very, I think I've got like brakes on or maximum none at all. Right, there we go. We'll set the parking brake. That clicking sound is very authentic as well. Cool, so you should probably be a little bit into wind for the power checks, but that's complete. Fuel selectors are both to on. Make sure the oil temperature is above 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which it is now. It's no longer planted on 75. That's increasing, so engines are warm enough to do the power checks. Cowl flaps are fully open, which are down here. So fully open, and now increasing the power to 1900 RPM. There we are. 19 RPM. Main pressure line drain operate. What was that? I can't remember. Propellers both 1700 to exercise. Oh, that drops really quickly. I think you did that 3 times. That was to get oil into the spinner, wasn't it? Or the prop. Remember, I've not flown this for 13 years. That's done. Check the mags. Obviously, if you turn both off, look, the engine will die. So one at a time. Max drop. Didn't make a note of it. Was it 50 RPM? Or, there you go. Just make sure you have a small drop. Probably lean the mixture slightly as well because of the altitude here is so high, 8,000 feet. Good, engine instruments are all good, everything's in the green. Check idle individually on the power. Make sure the engine doesn't cut off. That's idling nicely around 700 RPM. Perfect. And this is the bit I hated on the checklist. Once you've done the power checks, it said IF screens installed. So your instructor would put the big, horrible, clunky screens up. And there was no cheating. This whole thing literally fitted the window. You couldn't see anything out of it. Excellent. Oh yeah, under the dash, the little buttons. Were these... Yeah. Ah. Was it that? Yeah, that was it. Was that it? I remember the main pressure lines. I can't remember exactly where they are. I read it in the checklist. I was like, what was that? What was that? Good. Anyway, before takeoff, their trimmers set, throttle friction set, mixture's fully rich. We'll use that for takeoff with the, you know, we can lean it off once we get to cruise. We've got turbocharged engines here. Fuel selectors both on. Flaps will set to 10. Just a little handbrake look. That's the Seneca 2 for you. Cowl flaps fully open, alternate air controls have been checked, seatbelts and harnesses, flying controls, annunciator, low bus lights extinguished, flight instruments checked, autopilot's off, obtained departure clearance, navigator set, takeoff briefing stated. And there was a takeoff briefing for the Seneca 2, which was written down here in the checklist. I can't find it, but it was essentially, you know, 77 knots was the speed, so below 77 knots you'd call stop, stop, stop if you decided to do an RTO. Right then, we're ready for takeoff, so we'll backtrack, take off from runway 22, we'll talk about the departure as we go. Hey, is anyone here flying the Seneca, or did their IR? Bad memories, bad memories. No, it was all okay. I remember the IR test, it was very challenging. But I did pass. So, take off in the Seneca 2. This is all my notes back from Oxford. We're going to line up on the runway, runway 22, set takeoff power, 40 inches, manifold pressure, max RPM, fully rich. Rotation speed 77 knots. And then once we're airborne, gear up, retract the flaps, and the best climb speed for 2 engines. Well, you got the best rate of climb speed, that's the little blue line, 89 knots, which is best rate of climb. But for 2 engines of optimal cooling, it's 100 knots. So we'll climb out at 100 knots. At 34 inches, reduce the RPM to 2,400. And we're going to climb up to 14,000 feet. Bear in mind, we're already at 8,000 feet now. It's not going to take too long. Yeah, really small de-icing window. Stradicast, glad you're here. Nice to see you, buddy. But yeah, I think if you want a good IR trainer, and I mean, you've got your diamonds and stuff, and they're fantastic airplanes, but this is how to learn proper old school navigation, what we're doing today. Radials, tracking beacons, DME arcs. I'll do my best today. Seminole looks very similar. Yeah, very, very similar to Free Scratch. The engines are more powerful on this. Seminole looks similar, just already, or slightly lighter, but looks things with a bit less power. Was the Seneca counter-rotating props? Oh, yeah, I think they were counter-rotating. I think they were. Awesome. Don't forget, lovely Captain Iceman from Jetstream FS has given me a copy to give away, which will run after landing in Acapulco. Acapulco. I'm not going to do the song by Four Tops. I would love to play it, but never mind. Also, not on New Sky. There's no Seneca option here. My brakes, unfortunately, are set to either max braking or no braking. Turns really nicely as well. I love the creaking sounds. Oops. There we go. Now, I do not know the VFR departure procedures from here, because we do need to make a left turn eventually. But thankfully it's a beautiful day in visual, so if you are taking off from IFR from here, how you'd actually route to the VOR without getting close to terrain, I'm not so sure, but we're going to climb straight ahead and make a left turn. This is Mexico City. We're going to right over Mexico City here to the VOR as well. Right, Toga's in chat. Let's go to Acapulco. Flight time around an hour and 10 minutes. And wish me luck. Just going to hold it on the brakes initially. 40 inches. Just going to get up to 30 inches first. Oh, those sounds. Right, release the brakes, 40 inches. No overboost lights, go too much, you get overboost. And we're rolling, airspeed's alive. Handles really nicely on the takeoff rolls, great. 77 knots, rotate. Plus red climb, gears up. Very nice, handles beautifully. Flaps up, go for 100 knots, there's 100, pitch up, so much more power than the Seminole. Trim for 100, let's reduce the power now to 39 inches, or what was the climb power, I can't remember now, my notes. Take off 34 inches, whoa, bit of turbine there. So 34 inches reducing and to 2,400 RPM. And we're going to start making a turn direct to the VOR. beautifully trimmed at 100 knots. I think there's a little bit of turbulence here in the sim. Once it's in trim, very little inputs needed. So the HSI and the RMI, the two green needles are pointing directly to the beacon. Just get the speed to 100 knots. So we're just going to route direct to the VOR at the moment. Great performance this aircraft, I remember. There we go. Cruise speed 140 knots. Once we get up to 14,000 feet, just need to work out. I don't know what the wind's doing today, but at the moment we'll be there overhead the VOR at 7 minutes and 14 miles, 124 knots. So that DME is from speed from DME data. Yeah, once it's trimmed, I've pretty much hands off now. It's great. Going to put the transponder on as well. Cool. After takeoff checklist then. Brakes are off, gears up, flaps up. Power's 2,400 RPM. 34 inches in the climb. Temps and pressures are all in the green. All pressures green, temps are fine, cylinder head temperatures are fine as well. We'll leave the cowl flaps open. Once we get the cruise, we can turn off the cowl flaps. That's 10,000 feet we've just passed. And look, no problem climbing 1,000 feet per minute still. Just keep bumping up the power, 34 inches. Check the temperature every 1,000 feet, temperature pressures, and adjust for 34 inches manifold in the climb. Still hand flying. All looking good. How's the volume, guys? Am I okay? Plane too loud? Am I too loud? It's all quiet now because I'm doing a fly past, but very nice. I think the volume for the exterior, yeah, directly controls the whole aircraft. Nice and balanced, good guys, thank you. Oh, I actually passed 10,000 feet. I'll turn the lights off. Not in any clouds, I'll leave the P8 off. Remember, 14,000 feet is the airway height. So the grid more is really high. What's these mountains around Mexico? It's so high. I mean, it's such a high elevation city. This VOR is located on the airport, international airport, so we could just literally route direct to Mexico City International Airport, which is here. And we'll fly en route. There's 11,000. AJ for a night. That's true. Playing is loud, but adds to authenticity. Nothing like yelling at the person sitting in the other seat. Yeah, that is very true. I remember. Yeah, it's beautiful. Once it's in, this is why, if a developer makes the airplane properly, I barely remember flying to Seneca. I remember once you got it trimmed, you had to make such small inputs. It held the speed so nicely in trim speed. Bearings lined up now to fly direct. Got ortho for the entire sector. Remember, this is the total Mexico ortho scenery. So the Jetstream design's gone to the effort of removing all the artifacts, all the clouds. Very nice. I love how the static wings wiggle. That's very authentic. See my later on inputs. Look. You can plug in the headset. Oh, Iceman, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that is the developer of the aircraft. Hope you're doing well. Guys, if you have any questions about the aircraft, tag at Iceman in chat. As I said, he is a 737 pilot, flown the aircraft that was basically flown the same aircraft I have, and he gave me some good tips for the aircraft. So yeah, if I press... Oh! Well, this is a Bose A100 headset. I think I prefer it out. That's very quiet. Great if you're on Vansom though. Good, so I've got the DME here, 3 minutes until we're overhead the VOR. So remember, once we're overhead the VOR, we need to fly a new outbound track of 189. There's 12,500 feet, again 34 inches, still climbing really nicely. Oh, do I have to go onto oxygen manually? Yeah. Press that, otherwise you get hypoxia. I was noticing earlier on a test sector, I was like, why is the screen going very black? And I was like, oh yeah, I've got to put my oxygen mask on. Are you running rich? Yep. Spurious pod, yeah, fully rich here. I think if I start leaning off in the climb with climb power, your cylinder head temperatures shoot up, and then we'll lean to peak EGT later. Oh, I'm not flying very accurately. I want to do that on your instrument rating. Hold on, let me get back on course. 1 to go anyway. Chris, yeah, I think that's a de-icing. You can de-ice this little patch here. We didn't have those on our Senecas. They've been all been removed. Perfect plane for flying north of the border. No, I'm not going to expand on that Stratocast. Yeah, look at Mexico City, guys. There's the international airport. We've landed the Felis 747 there once. It's such a huge city, isn't it? Probably would be upsetting people by flying right over the airport like this, but it's the only way to get to that airway. Very cool. Up to Cats. I'm not losing any manifold pressure. It's done at 34 inches. Yeah, I shouldn't need to add any power. Did I? When I said adding power, I meant fine tuning it. So yeah, it's turbocharged. It's stuck at 44 inches. I haven't touched the power since takeoff. So yeah, when I said adding power, I meant some fine tuning to keep it at 34 inches. But yeah, turbocharged aircraft, exactly that. You don't need to keep adding power in the climb. It just stays at 34 until you reach, as you said, your critical altitude. But this, what is this servicing? 25,000 feet? It's crazy. Right, I'm really close to the VOR now, so I'm not going to start chasing any needles or anything like that. It's literally right over the top of the airport, which if we look outside, we are. So we'll set the next 189. What I'll do, I'll start turning now. There's the nav flag as we fly to the top. So 189 about there. Set the OBS to 189 as well. There's the needle swing. We'll pull the tail of the needle onto 189 as well. Probably slightly overshots it. Oops! Wasn't maintaining my altitude there, 14,000. So we'll just dip down there and let the aircraft accelerate. I'll drag the tail of the RMI onto 189. Hear the airflow increasing, that's very realistic as well. Trim nose down, trim, 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 trim. Perfect, give me 2 seconds, whoever that was. So in the cruise, 32 inches and 2,200 RPM. Just waiting for the HSI to come back on, which it is. Still on the QNH here, remember, because the transition altitude's high. Brad, thanks for 46 months, buddy. Oh my days, back to basics, love it. Absolutely, we're going old school today. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thanks for your continued support as a member. Right, now this should give me sort of close the cowl flaps, because remember the cowl flaps. Thanks to Iceman for reminding me here. There's a lot of drag of the cowl flaps on this aircraft, so I'm just going to get this trimmed out, close them, and you'll get your 140 knots. So as soon as you close that, it gets rid of a lot of drag, and the aircraft will now slowly accelerate. So the cowl flaps are here, and they stick out under the plane, creating a lot of drag. I remember you literally stow them, and you can feel the aircraft sort of accelerate a bit in the cruise. Don't forget, before you tune any VOR, you need to listen to the idents, which is that one here, isn't it? There you go. So this is Mike Echo X-ray we're listening out for. So dash dash dot dash dot dot dash. Oops, that's my IR failed. 14,000. Ambient temperatures up there. Let me just get back to 14,000 feet. Yeah, you don't want to be any lower. The scenery is fantastic. Yeah, I have to say the sounds actually. When I was flying it earlier, I was a bit like, oh, it's very loud, but actually, I think the startup sounds are one thing to tweak, but apart from that, they are very good. Right, yeah, we've got Mike Echo X-ray. Good, okay, I'll get the autopilot in now. And you can see here, this is what I remember. 32 inches, around 2200 RPM. We just need to lean the mixture, and you get about 140 knots. Right, there we are. We're all in trim now, at 14,000 feet, tracking nicely outbound. Let's get the autopilot in now, around my workload. So, autopilot on. Go for out hold, and nav. Now, so it's following the HSI, holding 14,000 feet. Look at that. The power figures work. It's just like flying the real thing. Very nice. So let's lean the mixture. Peak of EGT, wasn't it? You lean it, watch the EGT increase, watch your cylinder head temperature as well, because they can go up quite high. So you can see the EGT increasing, fuel flow dropping. Wasn't it the red line? Or did you just lean it to the red line? I can't remember. I think the red line was like peak EGT. That'll do. That's what are we doing? 11, 12, 13, about 13 gallons an hour per engine. Just over. 14,000 feet. Oh, this is, yeah, 16 gallons. That's we're super efficient. Look at that. 2,200, just 21 inches. Wow. Now we want a bit faster than that. Yeah, we're probably set higher power settings here. Well, I've just wrote in my notes 32 inches, 2200 RPM, 140 knots, which is what we're doing. I'll leave it at that. If in doubt, red light to the red line. Thanks, Iceman. Ah! Oh no! Ah! Oh yes, I forgot you could slightly twiddle these, but yeah, we'll go 1100 degrees for the EGT. Cool. On our way. So established on the outbound here. If I turn on the little aeroplane icon, there you go. Just gone past Duxop. We'll tune up the next VOR on box 2, 13.1. Get that identified. Should be the same. There we go. Could switch over to box 1 as well. So what we'll do is go to heading select. Heading selects engage. Switch over to 13.1 on nav 1. Give it a second. Check the ident. So we're looking for Tango Echo Quebec. So it's dash dot dash dash dot dash. That's Tango Echo Quebec. Perfect. So we can detune that. And that's inbound on the 008 radial. So we'll put the tail of the needle on 008. About there. And we can go back to nav. DME. We are 31 miles, 170 knots DME. We'll be there in 11 minutes. Overhead Tango Echo Quebec. Which is just here. And it's that same airway all the way to our destination. Oh, that's free scratch. This is, if in doubt, read that's on Steve M. Brilliant. Free scratch, 50 degrees less of peak EGT is best econ speed. Peak EGT is the stoichiometric ratio, and a bit less than that is slightly more efficient. That's how I was taught in Stanford. I can yeah, it's a vague memory, and I think all we did at Oxford, that it all leaned to, you'd lean to the red line, and that's it. The fuel flow seems very low, isn't it? 13 miles per gallon? 30 miles a gallon. Sorry, 13 gallons an hour. But I guess because we're so high, that's why it's burning a lot less fuel. Oh, someone was asking about the temperature. There you go. It's outside air temperature. It's that about 2 degrees. Not bad for 14,000 feet. Ah, where's it going? I've only looked up and it's sort of, I think it's just making a turn because it's bang on the HSI there. Very cool. Longcat 13 gallons sounds about right. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Like all the figures in the Discord, everyone's quoted are bang on, and we're super high here as well. I don't even know what that word means. Bomto says, when you get done flying, you can pull the thermometer and smoke a Boston butt. What? What's that? It's an American thing. Posca, is the window open? No. So it is very quiet in here. But you see, can you hear that airflow? That is quite realistic. I mean, I don't think it's linked to the environment. No, it's not linked here. So some add-ons, they have that airflow linked to environmental, and you can turn the sound down. A fantastic, beautiful route though. Again, geographically, not going to help you today, but now we are on this airway. All the high terrains around Mexico City, and it's going to get flatter and flatter until we get to Acapulco. Yeah, what do you think, guys? Do you like it? I do. It's just bringing back so many weird memories. I think we could have some fun doing engine failures in this. Try to counteract the engine failure. Climbing 89 knots, remember all that? What's the ETA to Acapulco? Good question. We can tune up the VOR you see at Acapulco is the same VOR at the station, so the best way of finding that right now would be to actually get my charts out. So I do have... The problem is SimBrief doesn't have a Seneca profile. It does have one for the Baron, so I chose the Baron because the speeds aren't going to be too dissimilar. And this is showing a ground speed of 180 knots, and we're doing 170. Okay, it's a little bit slower. So from Tequila, 23 minutes, and then the total flight time is 1 hour and 6. So from when we get to Tequila, that's going to be about 43 minutes. Call it 40 plus 7, so about 47 minutes. But after the full arrival's been flown, probably 50-55. Oh, and you got the overlay here as well. Remember that as the crow flies, and that will be less because that's obviously we're going to fly the DME arc in. And there's Mexico down below. Very nice. Charles says economically lean until the ET drops 50 from the peak. Cheers from a Seneca pilot. Oh, very cool, very cool. I've just set the red line. I might get an extra 1 mile to go, I think. If fuel doesn't cost anything in the sim, right? What point did you open the cowl flaps again? Was it as soon as you started descending? It's not a volcano there or something. Spurious Punch, this will be a good comparison to the Black Square Dukes when it comes up, both turbo twins, very cool. So T-Bag said, bit late to stream, but I reckon if you trained at Oxford, then you probably bugged the crap out of me flying from over my house in Kirtlington. I did rotary at Wickham. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. I lived in Kidlington. We flew, oh god, going all over the place. My IR, I did Coventry and then Gloucester. Coventry and then Gloucester. We got to Gloucester to do an NDB approach, but the NDB was out of service. Wasn't NOTAM speed, it stopped working. So in my eye, I had to change the plan and do the NDB approach into Oxford, which was a weird NDB circle to land. So you sort of flew the approach 90 degrees to the runway and then you broke downwind. But yeah, past, it was just, the weather was atrocious, but the examiner said, look, the weather isn't great today, but we'll take that into account. Don't worry. I was like, okay. It was like 25 gusting at Coventry. It was like up and down. Very cool. This ortho looks fantastic. Yeah, this is the Mexico scenery, which is very kindly gifted by Jetstream for me. Very easy to install. Free scratch, did you ever take more than one backseater in the Seneca? No, we were only ever allowed to have you and your flying partner in the back. I think you could take more, but we never did. I'll check all the T's and P's anyway. Amps below 50. Cylinder head temperature's fine. It's a bit warm. But is that normal? Probably was, I can't remember. Plenty of gas. All pressure's fine, all temperature's all good. Same on engine number 2. Got all my gear attraction speeds as well. If you don't have all documentation you want, the aircraft comes with a whole suite of documents. Just having a look now for you, actually, guys. So included manuals with the product, you get, how many is this? 11 manuals. You get one specific to the aircraft about click spots, an official Turbo Seneca pilot operating handbook, normal procedures, limitations, documentation how to use DME ADF, King Avionics, pilot's guide, quick reference guide, installation manual, how to use a de-icing system which is fully modelled, and the Benedict's King Navcom manual. A whole host of manuals of this. Much prefer the sound of the Seneca to the Diamonds. Yes, yeah, Diamonds probably does sound a little bit quieter as well. Yeah, that's not 3 scratch. Oh, crikey, yeah, Oxford NDB runway 1, that was it. Runway 1, and then you used to brake downwind right to land on... Oh, what direction was it? I can't remember. I cannot remember. Pilot Boy, did you ever do LPV approaches? No. We only did NDB VOR ILS in the type rating. I know it's still in its infancy, GPS approaches, but... Steve, cowl flaps always open for run-up, take-off, climb, and closed for cruise and descent. They're usually open after landing, but might be closed after engine shutdown. Yeah, I think on this checklist it says open them for descent. Just having a look here. Before descent checks. Oh no, it's on approach. Oh no, oh my apologies, no, it doesn't even mention them. So yeah, maybe they closed the whole flight. Oh look, I've not been concentrating. 2 minutes until we're overhead the VOR. So again, if I turn on the little plane icon. So there is a little airfield we've just flown over, which I did see outside a second ago. Where was it? I did see it. There it is. And the VOR is literally just here. So what we're going to do is go onto heading temporarily. Heading select. Fly overhead the VOR, then we're going to fly outbound on the same radial. We need to wait till the Acapulco VOR becomes active. Remember, this is on the same frequency as Mexico. There we go. There might be a minimum oil temperature for descent too, usually is for turbo aircraft. Yeah, again, there was nothing in my notes here that I could find about minimum temperature. I've got descent power setting, so for descent, cruise descent, initially 140 knots, you set 18 inches of manifold pressure, and the mixture still leans, and then approaching the approach phase, reduced to 115 knots, 15 inches of manifold pressure, then increase the RPM and enrichen the mixture. Shonika's 2 6-cylinder turbo engines in this. Wow, yeah, it was a beast of an aircraft. Continentals, turbocharged. I don't know how much horsepower, but yeah, you know, a lot of oomph in it. I remember when I first flew it, I was like, all right, set power, and then the massive overboost lights come on, and the guy's like, no, reduce power. You can easily, I think they've got wastegates on them, of course, but yeah, it's so easy to overboost them. Right, there we are. We've flown over the VOR. We've got the tail of the needle pointing up. We're already on the outbound radial, and this is showing from, so we can go back to nav. There we are. Cool. And what we'll do on box 2, we'll tune the Acapulco VOR at our destination, which is, let me just grab the VOR here, 115.9. It's the same as I had before, wasn't it? So what we'll do, box 2, we're going to go over to 115.9, and that's Oh, this is actually linked to box 2. So you can see it's still increasing and showing from. That's because the VOR frequency is the same as Mexico City. Yeah, old school planes are the best. Look at this scenery though, it's spectacular. Jetstream, Iceman from Jetstream side said, oh, you can fly wherever you started. I was like, no, your Mexico scenery looks quite cool. And it's nice to fly in different parts of the world. Look at that, that looks stunning. There's a little bit of light turbulence here, it's not very stable. Free scratch, opening the cowl flaps in real life was impossible at normal speeds in the PA34. I asked the examiner to close them when doing a touch and go since we were going slow enough. I can't remember free scratch. Was it like just stiff on that particular one, or? I don't know. But it's cool to fly old school today. Once we get a DME for the second VOR, we'll be able to work out descents. So I think the initial power setting of 140 knots, 18 inches, give you a rate of descent around 800 to 1,000 feet per minute. So we're at 14,000 feet. Our destination aerodrome elevation is sea level, is 15 feet. So yeah, we around 15 minutes before, but we'll stick with the airways minimum descent altitude. So if I get this up here, so Texca, we can work out exactly when we're at Texca because that's 40 miles from the VOR. So when we're 40 miles away on the 009 radial, we know we're at Texca. And if I show you the approach we're flying today, runway 28, here you go, look, Victor 15. So from 25 miles, we could descend to 7,000 feet, and then from 17 miles down to 12, we can descend to 6,000 feet, and then we'll turn 12 miles. We'll start the turn onto the arc. Well, we would if you're in the 7.3, but a good rule of thumb I remember for DME arcs is 10% of your ground speed to start your turn. So we'll start our turn here and we'll go down to 6,000 feet. Once from the 024 radial, which is great. This is the only aircraft I've flown in a sim which actually has a slaved RMI compass. This is going to make it so much easier to fly the DME arc. So we use the tail of the needle to work out what radial we're on to step descend. So 6,000 feet, 024 radial, step down to 4,000, 063, step down to 2,000. And it's a very low platform altitude there, so I'll just stay at 2,000 all the way in until we intercept the ILS. But we'll do it all instrument flying today. I'll try and hand fly it for your amusement. Hi Flight Vision, hi altogether. I hope you're enjoying the Seneca so far. It's my absolute favourite. Yeah, it's awesome. Good memories. Good memories. Do you track your rate of turn during the DME arc? I go by the very simple method, as way I was taught. Turn 10, twist 10. To do a constant arc turn to stay on that distance. I mean, in this aircraft you need to do like what, a 1 degree angle of bank turn. Turn 10, twist 10 works quite well. FPT, did you fly the NDBs with just a movable card? No, we're very fortunate. What I was saying was, we had a slaved, the RMI was slaved to the compass. The Seneca from Coronado and a few other aircraft I've flown, I think the Seminole and another aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim or X-Plane, they're not slaved, they have the movable card. So yeah, you've got to keep moving this as you turn. That, yeah, as you said, if you're having to do DME arcs whilst hand turning that is challenging. Awesome. But yeah, if you want to go new school, let's say, you can select flight plan, load in your flight plan with the GNS. You can then select GPS here, slave that to the autopilot, and follow your GPS routing. But where's the fun in that? $63 miles from Mexico City now. Don't know if you can actually still see it from outside. No, you can't. It was beyond that hill. So whilst I'm on final approach, if you could go to your Spotify accounts or YouTube, type in 4 Tops. Was it Going Low, Go Down in Acapulco? Play that, and yeah, just, you'll feel right at home. And keep an eye on everything. Temperatures are all good, temperature's fine, pressure's in the green, plenty of gas. You don't need to switch tanks. See how much oxygen we've got as well. So remember, I've got oxygen mask on at the moment, so you can see I've used a bit of O2. It was full, and look, in flight you can't refill it. They're very good, these devs. You can't change the fuel in flight. Look, no cheating. Can't add fuel. You can't add O2. So I have my oxygen mask on up here at 14,000 feet. Chris Strobel, both displaying and steering looks like a must get. Very cool, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, Ortho's good, but when you have someone that goes to the trouble of getting rid of all the clouds and everything, and it was super quick and easy to download. So yeah, total Mexico scenery. It was great. Literally like about, I don't know what zoom level is. It's 16, but it looks quite good even at lower altitude. Chris, are you using Active Sky? No, just using stock X-Plane now. Almost halfway. Perfect. So I said after landing, we'll get on stand, shut the engines down, we'll run a little giveaway for the aircraft as well. All the information, if you want to find out about the aircraft, is in the video description below. As I said, Jetstream designed as, I think this aircraft I looked on Discord, it's only been sort of, you know, it's still in early access, of course. It's not finished yet, but I think it's still quite new. But yeah, I mean, it looks finished to me. It's very, very nice. Yeah, Iceman. Real weather from X-Plane is working really well. This time of year, in this kind of weather, you get light turbulence and the raising heat from the terrain going up to the cold layer. Yeah, that's why I've stopped using Active Sky. The default weather in X-Plane 12 is such an improvement over X-Plane 11 that I actually, when Active Sky was updated for X-Plane 12, I didn't actually like it. I think there's things that can be improved, such as sort of gusty and wind conditions. The way that the wind changes the direction is a bit quick sometimes, but overall it's nice. And live weather updating generally seems okay. There was a period of time where everywhere was very clear and cav okay at certain places in the world, even though it was forecast to be foggy. But now it's looking good now. Hi Rosie, nice to see you here, madam. Glad to have caught this stream off work today with the gold. Ah, sorry to hear that. I know you've lost your voice. Oh dear. So this is definitely cheering me up. Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm glad the video is cheering up, and nice to see you here, and hope you feel better soon. Had fun yesterday streaming in the Zebra mod again. I'm flying to places where I can't pronounce recently. Bydgoszcz and Lublin, and now Acapulco, and in Atizapan, where we departed from. Just again waiting for this to flick over to Acapulco, because it's still the same UR frequency. But we're almost halfway. High terrain over there, isn't there? I mean, you could be an IMC here. Very cool. Atizapan sounds like a good cold remedy. Brilliant. Dog Vibe check might check out the Total Mexico scenery after seeing this. Yeah, it's really nice. Very easy to install. I think very reasonably priced as well. But Ortho, I'm a huge fan of as well, but sometimes you get these sort of clouds or textures which are a bit blurry or don't match well. Love a little heat shimmer as well from the exhaust. Hi Green Light Auto Brokers, greetings, he said in chat. I love the fact this airplane will not allow you to cheat as far as oxygen, fuel and real instrument flying. You actually have to read the manual to properly fly it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just to show you what you get with the aircraft as well. I'll put a PDF here, so that's obviously my operational flight plan. So you get Pilot's Operating Handbook. There you go. So it's the old school original one, which you can follow until your heart's content. All the guidance on flying the aircraft, its limitations and whatnot. Yeah, and then have an included checklist. So this has actually been made by the dev, Jetstream FS. So this is this checklist is very similar to the one I'm following, and this is fantastic. Again, all these speeds match what I had from the Seneca as well. Rotation speeds were slightly different. Cruise climb we have 100 knots. This is 115. Traffic pattern speeds, pitch and power settings. There we go. So 14,000 feet, 2200 RPM, which is what we have. Actually, don't actually have any settings for. Maybe we should have a slightly higher RPM. Profiles look. Normal takeoff, short field, instrument, traffic pattern. Clean stall, approach to stall, steep turns. Yeah, a lot of effort's gone into this, which is good. Single engine takeoff. Just makes my legs shake to this day. Single engine go around as well. Oh, if I remember all that. A nightmare. Just want to double check the airway to make sure it is the same height the whole way. So we're in between Tango Echo Quebec and Texca. So there we are. So yeah, it's 14,000 feet. Grid Mora. Our current grid Mora is 12,100, then it's 12,500. So at 14,000 feet we're high. So we'll probably just go above this terrain. If I go here to VFR. Yeah. Ooh! Don't know what happened to my HSI there. It's a big update. Was that Lib Radio doing its thing? Oh, crikey. Or am I out of range of the VOR? Let's just go back to heading here. So if it starts deviating like that, we don't want to go too far afield. I think we can go over to the VR now. That's 78.7, 78.6. Yeah, I think what's happened is the sim has switched VORs. So what we'll do, we'll tune in the VOR for our destination. That's my IFR low. 15.9. Oh no, it's com frequency. 15.9. Yeah, it's slave to that as well, so it's gone direct. That's showing 15, so we'll do 15.9 on box 2 as well. Ah. Perfect. So now I just want to listen to the ident, which is Acapulco. Dot dash. Dash. Dot dash. Dot dash. Good. It's the correct VOR. We want to be inbound on the 009, so the reciprocal is going to be 189, so just make sure we've got 189. So, it's heading book's in the way. Yeah, we're pretty much bang on, aren't we? And then we can go now back to nav. There we are, nav. It's turning because it was on heading select. There we go. And as the crow flies, 26 minutes until we're overhead. Alvaro, I hope you're doing well. When are you planning to start an LTC? They have us waiting for live training at home for the lack of LTCs. I'm sorry to hear that, Alvaro. Again, thanks for sort of respecting my privacy and not asking too into it. Yeah, some airlines are short of training captains. I am in the process of training to become a training captain. I'm not saying what date I have scheduled for my final checks as well, but I'm halfway through my training to become a training captain, so I've been sort of training new command upgrade students in a different base, and I'm going to a different base next week to do some more training as well. But yeah, I can't answer any more questions regarding when your line training will start. Hopefully as soon as possible, and I might meet you one day. Best of luck with your line training when it does start. What's one of those Stratocast? I don't know what you and Bob Tech are having a right old chin wagging chat. I don't know what idea these references are. Flight Vision, I see your comment earlier. The developer never seems to stop. For me, it's very functional and finished since I have it. Yeah, I mean, I was told that this aircraft is advertised as early access. It seems very complete to me. Very impressed. So yeah, Jetstream, keep at it. Seneca having a good time. Oh, friends, you're gonna meet up, friends. That's a reference to the In-Betweeners from the UK. If anyone recognises that. Dear. Iceman, you passed the turbulence area. It is a good time to start hand flying here. Oh, what? I'm quite happy here with the autopilot in. Yeah, it's nice and smooth now. So I explain. Actually, I don't know with regards to how it's sort of simulating that, because it is obviously the elevation is dropping off, and it is nice and smooth now. Yeah, it's a very nice add-on. Cages, no problem. Blogtech Stratocast, I hope you meet one day and become friends. It'd be very funny if you do. Rosie, not once did I ever think I'd hear an In-Betweeners reference on this stream. Rosie, do you know how much I love the In-Betweeners? I mean, I could quote every episode and so much. It's such an iconic series. And I was the same age roughly as them as well growing up, so when it was released it was about the same age. You could relate. Yeah, we'll do this DME art manually. So 23 minutes, yeah, so remember everything we've built is around Texca. So Texca is when we want to start thinking about what to do. So after Texca, which is going to be at 40 miles, 25 miles away. Oh, I need to work this out now. 10, 12, 17, 20. So 25, we can go 7,000 feet. Once we're 25 miles from Alpha Charlie Alpha. But the actual distance was 40, wasn't it? Yeah, Texca's 40 miles. So after we've passed 40 miles, we can descend down to 7,000. So we've got another 23 miles till top of descent. How do you set minimums? I see there's a DH light, but how do you set minimums? Oh yeah, Harry, does this mean I work? Yeah, Harry, yeah, Neil wanted to be a pilot, didn't he, for the job experience? Yeah, I remember. Neil! Such an iconic show. Say my name. Very cool. Donna Rosina, how are you finding this add-on? Sorry, I had not so quick nap. Oh, rest, Donna Rosina. Yeah, it's excellent. Very, very good. Really pleased with it. Times 13, bird will sure be part of your hangar. Excellent. As I said, you can find out all the information in the video description below if you wish to find out more. There's a Discord server to join as well. Head over to the Jetstream website to find all the information out. 20 minutes. Oh, this timer. When does that start once you get airborne? Yeah, 58 minutes airborne now. Garyfield, don't you need to set standard barrow in the Seneca? Gary, it's completely based off the transition altitude, and as we are in Mexico, it's really high. So it's 18,500 feet, I think. So everything's based off. Yeah, there you go. Transition altitude is 18,500, so we're still on QNH here. So I can do is set the local QNH in our destination. Acapulco. It is 2983. Oh, it's 5 statute bars. It's getting a bit hazy. 27 degrees as well. 2985. So that's QNH 1011. It's actually dropped quite a bit there. So hopefully if I change it slowly, it'll start as I lower the QNH, pitching up to climb back up to the correct altitude. But yeah, 1011. Pressure's changed quite a lot. 1011. There you go. It's the autopilot's climbing right up to immediately correct the altimeter change. Yes, I did see that Iceman. Yeah, you're quite right actually. What I should do, because I am in Mexico, switch this to Imperial. There you go. So it's I can now actually set the correct pressure instead of having to convert it. There we are. I think I got it right though. 1011 is about 2985. Yeah, not bad. Perfect. Whee! Flying Walnut, work, busy, urgent treatment centre, 30-minute break, time for a cup of soup and relax watching the stream, perfect way to spend the time. Ah, very good, Flying Walnut. Keep up the excellent work. Will do. Is that the coast? There is the coast there, ladies and gentlemen, the Pacific Ocean. Said everything will start at 40 miles before. Chart actually. Just want to make sure we're happy, don't hit anything here. So from Texas, 25 miles, 7,000, that's fine. So we're just got to wait until we are 40 miles from Texas. Not long, 50 miles to go, 18 minutes. Fuel's all fine. Plenty of gas. Amps good, less than 50. Pressure temperatures all in the green, mixtures leaned. Get me right, go on, brilliant. Hello Lightspeed, hope you're doing well. What are you on about, Donna? Is it Pacific? Don't know. Yes, thanks for running everyone, Nibot. If you'd like to win a copy of this aircraft, all you need to do is be able to reply to the question I ask, put the answer in chat box, and I'll do that after landing. Is there a coffee maker? No. God, I remember flying and renting a 172 that only had OBS. Hated it. HSI is so much better. Everything's pointing where we'd like it to. Harry, I'm studying my PPL. What's the best way for learning when you're online and it's mainly documents and presentations? The early stages, it's more theoretical. So when you think things like air law, you sort of have to learn as you would sort of learn at school, just revise whatever effectively you do, or find effective. Microsoft Flight Sim with the visuals is really good for sort of practicing NavXs, I think. I wish I had that when I was doing my PPL. But yeah, instrument flying is better to practice in the sim. Handling, you don't want to really do any handling. Look at this ortho here. Doesn't that look amazing? And streaming in 2K the last couple of months. So it's all crispy clear for my lovely viewers. See why the grid bore is so high, can't you? 12,000 feet. How's my oxygen supply getting on? Oh. Yeah, plenty of O2. Jim's just breathing gently. But yeah, very cool how you can't cheat. No cheating, no O2. Can't change it. But if when you're on the ground, you can change it as you wish. Oh, good, 43 miles. So remember, from 43 miles to 25, we can step down to 7,000 feet. So we'll do this manually. I'll disconnect the autopilot. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the approach. So Texca 25, 40 from 25 miles down to 7,000, then step down to 6,000, 12 miles, start the DME arc, 10 mile arc, 4,000, 2,000 onto the ILS. The ILS frequency is 1099, so what we could do, we could tune that on standby. Ah, no, I need to go back to nav now. There we are. What button did I want to push? That one. Yeah, 1099. So the ILS is on standby, box 1 and 2 now. Cool. The minimum's 215 feet. So 40.9 miles. What will end first, fuel or O2? Brilliant. HG Sim, this ortho looks really good. Yeah, so this is the Total Mexico ortho scenery from Jetstream Design as well. It's from Mexico. That's why it looks so good, because it's you would pay for the quality. Everything's been removed, all the artifacts, all the clouds. It looks amazing. Super nice. That's why I wanted to sort of fly out here. There we are, 40 miles, so wish me luck. Disconnecting the autopilot. And we're now going to reduce power for descent. Ah, my notes. So start pitching down. And we're going to reduce power 140 knot descent to 18 inches of manifold pressure. There we are. Good. So 18 inches of manifold pressure for 140 knots. Leave it at 2,200. Leave the mixture leaned initially. And descend at 140 knots. And remember, we're going to step down to 7,000 feet until 25 miles. My DME's all here. Hey Sim, how can we get the ortho from Jetstream? You have to go over to their website. It is a payware product. I think it's very reasonably priced. Chris, watching on iPad Pro, very cool. I was looking at my analytics. 15% of people watch on TV. I couldn't believe how high it was. I thought it'd be mostly computers and laptops. Well, it is, to be fair, but yeah, 15%, nearly 1.5, nearly 1.6 people watching on TV. So there we are in the descent. We have to reduce the power very slowly. Some of the head temperatures have decreased slightly. Otherwise, everything is looking good. There's the coastline. It is making it easier, the weather being so fantastic. So I'll endeavour to hand fly the entire thing now. No autopilot. Stefan Muki on my ears. What? Is it too loud? Stranded Car Show, usually one of the TV guys. My soundbar always sounds good too. Yeah, when you got a nice soundbar, that sound nice. A little bit of a right turn just to get back up the HSI. I don't know what the wind's doing. Still trim for 140 knots. Are you wearing your flying slippers? No, in my socks today. That's a great question, Colorado. Why is the RPM band yellow from 2,000, 2,200 and green to red? So the red is obviously max, but I can't remember being a yellow bar on our RPM gauges. On our Senecas. I can't remember. Scenery is fantastic. Super smooth. So 7,000 feet until 25 miles out. At 0 point, hearing Flight Deck Sim through surround sound is like him flying a plane in your home. Ah, very cool. I couldn't think of anything worse than hearing me on surround sound. Brilliant. How does this sound? How does this sound in surround sound? Oh dear, child. Bands on the RPM are usually to do with the props fitted. Shows your RPM to avoid. Oh, very good. There's 9,000 feet. Got 27 miles to run, so nearly at 25. I could probably go straight down to 6,000 by the time I get there. Yeah, Rusin, you're quite right, actually. Yeah, to be fair, it does say, I think probably, yes, because I'm going a bit fast, should be doing 140. And target rate of descent is 800 to 1,000. Yeah, you're right. In the 737, if you have any depressurization issues and the aircraft's depressurized, it recommends limiting rate of descent to no more than 1,000 feet per minute for that reason. So you're quite right. Quite right, sir. So I'll just add to 20 inches then. I might increase the RPM slightly. Just lean the mixture off a bit as well. So there's 25 miles, DME. We can now step down to 6,000 feet. And we'll level off at 6,000 feet. We must maintain that height until actually outbound on the arc. Chris, how much hard disk do you need for this scenery? BombTech says 4 terabytes. I think that's if you download the whole lot. I've just downloaded the relevant tiles for this sector, and it was nowhere near as much as that. I think it was about 50 gig. Oh no, sorry Iceman, there you go. 4 terabytes is a bit excessive. Yeah, there you go. 700 gig for the whole country of Mexico. Thank you. But yeah, as you've seen on this entire sector, its visual is stunning. Even lower to the ground. Lucas, don't worry, the question for the giveaway will be very easy to answer. Oh yeah, watch my rate of descent again, sorry. So get ready to level off at 6,000. Again, just make a slight turn to the right, I guess the wind's coming from the west. Keep drifting slightly off the HSI. Alvaro, PC specs, exclamation mark PC in chat. 6,000 feet coming up, and then we're going to maintain this altitude, as I said, until 12 miles on the arc, until the 024 radial. Good, so when we level off, we'll go back to our cruise power setting. 28 to 32 inches. So there we are, we'll slowly add the power. There we go, there's 6,000 feet. It's our minimum altitude on this track. Cool. Can anyone grab the wind for 6,000 feet near Acapulco? There's still sort of this, I think there's a good wind here. Sort of having to go on there heading around 10 degrees off the radial to fly on the track here. So yeah, it is from the southwest. It's probably a bit stronger up here as well. Cool, so there's 18 miles. We're waiting for 12 miles to start the DME arc. The airport should be sort of straight ahead. There it is. That's the airport there. Cool. $17 miles. Yeah, there's a little bit of light turbulence here, long cut. Oh, it's could be my dodgy flying. I'm still hand flying. I'm very pleased with how accurately I'm flying now. I am using the Airbus joystick right now. But look at that, 28 inches, 2300 RPM, holding 140 knots, perfect. Oh, I need my checklist as well. So descent checklist is done. 15 miles, waiting for 12 miles. Trying to see the water, lovely. There we are, back on course now, so I think around 5 degrees off our inbound course. So I'm going to set this runway to a runway heading now, 283. There we are, and I'm using now the RMI to navigate. So we're going to start our turn onto the 12-mile arc soon. 10-mile arc, sorry. We're at 13 miles now. I've still got the HSI here, so this is useful. Fly left and right. So I've got 2 things to navigate directly to the beacon. The OBS, the needle here, and this is going to show you any deviation left or right for your track. So maybe a slight left turn. Switch my altitude. Got to maintain 6,000 until the 024 radial. So when the needle is on 024, I can step down to 4,000 feet. There's 12 miles. So I'm just going to wait. In the 737, I'd be starting my turn now to intercept the 10-mile arc at 220 knots. Obviously, we're doing 140. So around 1.4 miles, 1.5 miles, so 10.5. Oh, sorry, 11.5 will start my turn, so that's actually coming up now. So let's start a very gentle turn to intercept this DME arc. And, oh yeah, I remember this rule of thumb. Keep the ground speed on 0, isn't it? And then you know you're not on the arc. There was some weird rule of thumb with ground speed, wasn't there? What was it? What was on the DME arc? Basically, if it says 0, you're tracking, it won't change. So you use that for trends. Oops, turned a little bit inside, I was a bit late turning. Cool. Right, initial track then. Turn 10, twist 10. There's some weird rule with the time, wasn't there? Well, we're on 9.9 miles. I'll take it. And if I was to turn on the little airplane icon, there you go. Look. I'm doing a thing. So much slower here. 0, that's it. It's just 0 perfectly abeam, isn't it? So 0.22. You see it slowly increasing. So let's turn another 10. So all I've got to do, guys, is keep this on 0. And then I should maintain my perfect DME arc. That is makes it so much easier if you've got the DME with time there, doesn't it? You just keep that on 0, and you'll do your 10-mile arc. This is easy. So waiting for the 024 radial. Tail's gone past 024, so I can now step down to 4,000 feet. This is superb. DME arcs, no problem. 10.1 miles, bring it in, bring it on, 4,000 feet. I'm doing a thing. 4,000 feet. I mean, I'm just basically, every time I see this increase to 005, I'll just do a right turn until it says 001, 003, 002, 001, wings level. Perfect. I didn't have this. I did turn 10, twist 10. I didn't have I just had DME with no speed or time. So 10.1. Let's get back down to 10. 0.1 is too much of an angle, so let's keep going until it increases, and we want the ground speed to go the other way. We can step down to 4,000. Keep this at 90, and we're arcing. I know you fly the DME like a 50p piece. It works though. Turn 10, twist 10. But having speed, I mean, can I just see my little arc here? Look at that, guys! I think that gauge is on 10 miles. I mean, you can't teach it. Right, on the 063 radial, so 063, we can go down to 2,000. So let's see how well we're doing this. Nailed! Oh, this is superb. Basically, long cut, that is a DME arc. It is lots of little straight lines, but on the 7.3, obviously it can do it perfectly, and it will have a constant sort of rate 1, you know, a 1 degree, 2 degree angular bank. Right. Oh, I'm not. Just keep wings level there. It's gone to 9.9. So let's just wait until. Yeah, it's gone the other side here. So wait until that gets to 0. Just turn inside ever so slightly. There's 4,000. I can 063 radial. So the needle's just past 063. I can descend down to 2,000 feet now. So 063 down to 2,000 feet. We'll maintain that altitude to intercept the ILS. Not worried about CDAs. Again, 140 knots is fine, but we could start reducing to our approach speed, which is 22 inches, 2,400 RPM, and we'll go 2,400 RPM, and we're going to enrich 10.1 miles. Oh dear, I'm 0.1 off. I'm just going to reduce power now to around 18 inches, but I'm going to keep the rate of descent at around 1,000. 10.2. Uh-oh, I've not been concentrating on my arc so much. Yeah, the needle's pointing a little bit more to the right, so let's just turn a little bit inside. Coming up to the intercept heading now anyway. There we are, that should fix my DME arc. Approaching 2,000 feet, so we'll tune up the ILS on box 1 now, which is 1099. There we are. Just have a little listen in for the nav aid. India Alpha, Charlie Alpha. Got the ident right in front of me. That is India Alpha, Charlie Alpha. So the ILS is good. I'm going to give myself a few more degrees before we do our intercept. Remember, we're going to level off at 2,000 feet. I wanted to bring the speed back a little bit, but to be fair, we're at 10 miles out, which in the Seneca is no problem. 092 is the final radial, which we've just passed. Check right out 0.1. Was it 1 mile? Was that the tolerance for your DME arc? Oh, I've now sort of started flying the intercepts at 9.3. I've cut the corner now. I'm going to give myself for the intercept heading 2,000 feet. So I'm going to reach the leave the power back as it is. Just bring the speed back to 115 knots. There's the localizer alive. That is the best DME arc I've ever done. Right. HSI is so much nicer than OBS. So we're going to maintain 2,000 the platform until we intercept the localizer. 115 knots is fine at this stage. Long cut 1 nautical mile, but always be outside of the arc, not inside. Yeah, I did cut the corner a bit at the end. That was a bit naughty. 22 inches then to maintain 115 knots. Now, I genuinely can't remember on final. Did we use Longcat? Did you use power and Iceman? Did you use power for speed and pitch for rate of descent, or did you use power? I can't remember. You flew it like a jet, didn't you? Right, we're on final now. So before descent check, this initial approach check is complete. We can start configuring. So there's glide slope capture. I'm going to select a Nature flops. Remember, it's just like a little handbrake. Have a quick look at the chart. That's glide slope capture. So target rate of descent. What's my ground speed? 100 knots at the moment. Oh yeah, so I need to be doing like 400 or 500 feet per minute. Here's Seneca. Well, my notes. Where's up to my notes? So base 15 inches, 2,400 RPM. So I'm going to keep it 100, well, initially. At what point do I go max RPM? I'll go now. And this is where I can't really remember at what point did we configure. I mean, we didn't go out to a 10-mile final. We kind of went, you joined the circuit. Keep 90 knots till 500 feet. Roger. Let's take a bit of power off then. And I had to do the bum fix checks, didn't I? Brakes, undercarriage and all that. Build pattern looks very twitchy to me. It's probably my handling. Yeah, if I make no inputs, there you go, it's quite smooth now. I have mine on quite sensitive control settings. But yeah, if I make lots of inputs, look, that's full left, full right, there you go. So a little bit left of centre line on glide. Yo, Cam, I've got my Airbus side stick today. Oh, final approach speed was 85? Yeah, 85 knots. So, there's 1,000, so let's drop the gear. And then that's your flops. That sound! Oh my god! That's the Seneca sound on final! That's so good! 85 knots, I'll just do 90 knots initially. When we get to 500 feet, I'll reduce as suggested. Power to maintain altitude, pitch to control speed. No, that's in a GA aircraft. Don't do that in the 7.3. I'm using power to control speed, because that's what we do in a jet. Oh, getting a bit high on the glide here. I need to get used to that picture. Just set about 600 feet. Right. Let's get back to 85 knots now as we get below 500 feet. Alright, there's full flaps, 85 knots, final approach speeds. Yeah, it's the flaps that make that whistling sound, I remember. It's weird, isn't it, how that sound brings back memories. Go on, a bit high here, come on, let's get back on the pappies. Glide's coming back in. Oh, I remember being under the hood, and at like 100 feet above minimums, they'd like lift a little flap on the hood, and you go, "Oh yeah, thanks." If you're wondering what this little window is, it's for the machine guns. Yeah, that's where the crosshair goes. Was it cut the power over the threshold again? Oh, I can't remember. Looking good though. I am a little bit high. Glide showing high. Pappies and glides, slight mismatch, so I'm just going to go off the pappies now. Like 3 greens. Nothing beeping at me. Flaps set 85 knots, looking good. Hang on to your sombrero. Alright, don't worry about the pappies, not in a 7.3. Got the power, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. Oh, that'll do. I wanted to get at least the stall horn going off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Acapulco. Mega. Perfect. We'll keep rolling. Where's the GA here? I really enjoyed that. That was just a trip down memory lane for me. There's a high speed exit coming up, but I've not touched the brakes. Superb little add-on. Really, really nice. Right, I'm flipping over to my checklists. So landing checklist we've done, obviously, so we've just landed. We're gonna have a bit of power here. Need to open my little window. There we go. It's 28 degrees here, isn't it? I'll open these before things start getting warm. Plenty of O2. I think I've still got my O2 mask on, actually. Cool. So we'll vacate here. Let's see where we are. All the main terminals here. I don't know if they have any GA aprons. Oh yeah, it's over there in the top right. Look, we'll go over there. Cool. So, flaps are up. After landing, throttle friction loosened, props max RPM, Peter heater off. It already is. Anti-collision light white, so the wing light. Shut that off for a second. I think that one could come off. Landing lights as required. They can come off. Propeller de-icing, cabin conditioning as required. Air intake, radio nav equipment can come off now as well. Well, actually no, because we need the radio still technically. Not Alco, Acapulco. Get ready for the giveaway as well. Hint, hint. Superb. Yeah, this is a proper IR train. If you want to learn the OG IFR flying, this is the add-on you need. I wish I had this during my IR. I mean, I did okay, but still. Much better than the FSX Coronado. So many memories. And for any Seneca pilots, I'm so sorry if I bodged up several things here, but I don't fly this plane, so there could have been several things I did inaccurately. Excellent. Right, start the APU. Right, here's the GA part of the airfield. There I am, look, with Jim. With my Mexican-regged Seneca. I think we'll just take any of these stands, guys. No single engine taxi. Don't worry, we never did that. Could just taxi single engine, probably. Let's go for stand number, this one. Can't see very clearly here. Turns on a dime though, if you wanted to. Oh, yeah, there's 32. That was just sheer luck, that's my lucky number. Wonderful. Perfect. Parking brake is set. Closing down checklist, so RPM to 1000. There we are, 1000 RPM. 2.8 hours I've been running these engines for. Do a final live mag check. Very small drop in RPM. Perfect. Perfect. Oops. Ah! Probably don't shut the engines down like that. Oops. Yeah. Don't shut the engines down by turning off the mags. Ah. Not to worry. Turn off the radios. HSI iron electric altimeter CBs in. Mixtures 3 minutes after landing. Yeah, it's been over 3 minutes. There we are. Idle cut off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Acapulco. We made it in one piece. Right, throttles we can now close. All external lights we can also turn off. So that's in the off position. Nav lights off. Excellent. Fuel selectors off, and then you turn off the battery. That's it. So it's all
50,
done.
40,
Perfect.
30.
Thanks, AJ Fernani. Really appreciate it, buddy.
10.
Tongue twister for FD2S, Acapulco alpacas.
Acapulco alpacas. Brilliant. Thank you very much, AJ Fernani, for your $3 donation. Very kind. I didn't mess it up at all. Very, very good. You can now refresh at the back seat with the mint drink. Is that a thing, Iceman? Is that a genuine thing? Have you got a mint drink back here, or is that a feature I'm unaware of? Oh! Iceman, an IDIF company. Cool mint. Oh, I've actually drank it. Oh, what happens now? Did you?
Nothing as refreshing as Iceland Cool Mint full of caffeine for a long flight. Very relaxing. And now, let's hear some good music. Yeah.
That's nice. Excellent.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man.
I'm gonna get copyright. I'm gonna get copyright. Isn't that the Who? I'm gonna have to turn that down. Isn't that the Who? That's a classic. Yeah, that's the Who, isn't it? My goodness, I wasn't expecting that. That's a Mexican version of the Who. Brilliant. Yeah, one of my favourite songs, Barbara O'Reilly. Amazing. My dad loved the Who when he was alive. AG Fernandez, the Who? Yeah, it's the Who. The band The Who. Brilliant. Roger Daltrey. I think two of them are still alive, aren't they? Drummer was Madman, wasn't he? Keith Moon. He drove a Rolls Royce into a swimming pool famously. Brilliant. I had to tell you, I'm gonna get busted now. Great, great Iceman. Very, very nice. You can put the cam back or they will block your stream. Sorry, I've turned it down. Right then, I'll put it all the way back for the replay. That was funny. How do I put it back? There we go. Right, who would like to win a copy of this aircraft? If you're not so fortunate to win, it is available to download in early access for a very reasonable price. It was $30 or something. So, yeah, really pleased with the add-on. I've flown the Seneca 2, albeit a very long time ago, and all the noises and the sensations and sounds, it brings it back. So if you want a really decent twin trainer to X-Plane, this is certainly one you want to go. If you still have X-Plane 11, I think it's available for that sim as well. Right then, let me get the night bottle set up in the background here for the giveaway. So, giveaways, perfect, active user, keyword, that's what we want. So, lowercase, uppercase, it doesn't matter. Answer in chat. Anti-spam's enabled, so only put the answer in once. If you put it in more than once, it will kick you out. My question to all of you in chat is, we've obviously flown into Acapulco today. Four Tops, the song, as we all know and have in our head, which I'd love to play but I can't. They said they're going to do what in Acapulco. We're going to going what down in Acapulco. Begins with L, 4 letters, ends in O, lowercase, uppercase, it doesn't matter. You've got it, Bill Padley. Put that in chat. Uppercase, lowercase, it doesn't matter. And you'll be entered into the giveaway. As I was saying to you, Iceman, thank you very much for your very generous offer to give away a copy to one of my subscribers here. To the winner, get in contact with me via social media, or if you're a member via Discord. I will accept messages from Instagram or X, or email at flightdictasim@gmail.com. If you're the winner, just to ensure you are the genuine winner, all I ask is on your YouTube or Google homepage, I'll take a picture of your profile and your name. Just show me that with your logout button. So it just proves that you are the genuine claimant, the winner. It just stops any idiots claiming the prize when they didn't do it. And then I will send that information to Iceman of Jetstream FS, and they'll I'll get you to create an account on their website, and they'll add the aircraft to your account so you can download. Well done, Listerman. Very good. The Metal, yeah, okay, good one. Yeah, good fun. Good fun. Lovely exterior models as well. Lido? No. Perfect. We'll let that run for another 15 seconds or so. Superb. There we are. Right, let's jump back into the cockpit. Pleased that landing as well. That worked out well. Better than my test sector. I did sort of thump it down quite hard. Right then, so let's roll the giveaway now. So here we are. I need to get my award winner ping up. There we are. Roll it. The winner is HD Sim. HD Sim. You are the winner. And your logo, it says, I can't even see it. It's a very colourful one. Looks like some sort of disco. Utterly rigged. Not a member, I don't think. So you not control yourself. It's a regular subscriber. HD Sim says, what? Yeah, you are the winner. So HD Sim, if you get in contact via Instagram or X/Twitter, or email me at flightdatasim@gmail.com. We'll get everything sorted out. You'll just need to go over to the Jetstream website. The link to that website is in the video description below. Create an account, and the devs or Iceman will add that to your account. Very, very good. And you won a Seneca, says Iceman. So thank you very much for that very generous offer from Iceman there. Superb. So that's it for today. Just the one stream and one sector, sorry, in the aircraft. As I said, it is available to get now in early access. I say early access, it looks pretty darn complete to me, but I think there's a number of things to be improved. Head over to their Discord if you want to keep up to date with the project and see what's coming up. So very, very generous as well. You want a Mexican mojito mints? Yes, where you hear songs from The Who after you drink it. Very, very nice touch there. Right, let's have a look at that approach and landing then. So let's cue the music. That Total Mexico scenery is really cool as well. I think we need to visit Explain again. Let's have a look here. Loud. Just starting to get a bit hazy now. Just sort of timed the stream quite nicely. There we are. I think the engines have loaded in. There we go. Topping Oxford again. So high over the threshold. Oh, I just held it just about right. It's coming out a bit hot there. Nice. Good centre line tracking. So funny because I'm used to a massive 7.4 or 7.3 on the replay with this nice little tiny Seneca. Seneca's cool, gonna get it this weekend. Excellent, enjoy your weekend flying it. Almost timed the replay music perfectly. Very, very cool. There's the view from tower. So far away, can't even load the aircraft in. I won't use that one. Very cool. Gemini looking very nice. Oh, I've got my shades on. Quite a pretty aircraft, the Seneca. Yeah, I'll take that landing any day. Yeah, the sounds are really good. The sounds are good. Cool. Right then, what I'll do, I'll put you here in the stowaways position. I remember that massive gap in the flaps as well. Those whistling sounds, that's classic Seneca. That's all I remember being on file in the back seat, was that whining sound from the flaps. Crazy. Awesome stuff. Well, let's pop you on the approach from there. Well, that's it, guys. Once again, thank you for Iceman from Jetstream FS for sending over a copy of the Seneca. It is available now. All the information in the video description below. We'll no doubt fly this aircraft again in the future. But I'd like to take on that sim into a busy event and mix with the heavies, see what happens. Anyway, thanks to everyone that contributed to the stream, to all the members for your continued support, to all the regular viewers and subscribers. Really appreciate everything you do for me. And yeah, maybe a stream tomorrow, not so sure. I've just done sort of 2-3 in a row and with a video uploaded as well. Busy this weekend too, so stream probably on Sunday evening, and then I am away for a week. Anyway, enjoy your week. Subscribe to stay up to date with the latest content, and I'll see you all soon. Cheerio, guys. Bye.